Mga doki, sa pag-practice ng dentistry, hindi lang tayo nagtitreat ng ating mga pasyente. We deal with a lot of stuff, especially management, and when we deal with people we encounter almost daily in our clinic. Sino naman ngayon, mga doki? Ang ating mga pasyente, associates, colleagues, mga nagtatrabaho sa atin, like assistant, nag-aayos ng ating dental chair, o kaya naman mga kontraktor na maaaring gusto natin pabagong ating clinic, at marami pang iba. When you deal with these people, do you just create an agreement verbally? Now, mga dokis, walang problema sa verbal agreement kasi nire-recognize naman to ng ating batas. However, napakahirap ng verbal agreement because pag nagkaroon kayong problema, it becomes he said, she said. Kaya, it is very important, especially kapag there is an exchange of money, that you have a written contract or agreement. Now, mga doki, alam ko, ayaw nyo makipag-deal sa abogado kasi sa totoo lang, they're really quite expensive. Sa isang contract, sa isang matinong abogado, most of the time, one contract costs between 20,000 at a minimum. So, sino naman ang gustong gumastos ng ganon? So, mga dokis, gagawa ko ng 3 video, kasama ito, natuturuan ko kayo kung ano ang mga parts ng contract, paano ito maging legal, at ano ang kailangan niyong ilagay dito. Now, before I proceed, mga dokis, let me just state that I am not a lawyer, although I'm a daughter of one. My late father used to be one of the top lawyers in our country. So, I grew up learning the value of law. Now, mga dokis, ang ituturo ko sa inyo sa video na to does not mean it will replace you consulting a lawyer or having a lawyer create a contract, especially for contracts that are quite complicated and sometimes you will really have to spend money in order to protect your money. So, eto mga dokis, tinuturo ko lang sa inyo if you do decide to do it yourself. But, when you do it yourself, just always remember, you are taking the risk. Hopefully, you get to learn, even if you're not going to do your contract yourself, at least you will understand when your lawyer asks you, what do you want to be placed in that agreement? If you like this video, mga dokis, do please support me and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, hit that notification bell so that every time I upload, you will be notified. And if you continue to watch Dental Life, the smart way to grow your practice, do comment below of what topic you still want me to discuss or teach you. Mga dokis, this is Doc Jean, and welcome to Dental Life. Let's go! Okay, mga dokis. Now, let's tackle the essential parts of a contract. Now, mga dokis, just always remember that in any contract, it must be agreed upon by both parties And you, if you are the one providing the contract, make sure that your contract is just, fair, and within the law of the land. So, mga dokis, ito ang mga iba't ibang parts ng kontrata, whether gagawin nyo ng sarili nyo o kaya naman kailangan may guide kayo para mailagay ninyo ang kailangan ilagay ng abogado ninyo sa inyong kontrata. One is the title of the contract. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Ang ibig sabihin nun, mga dokis, tuwal kung anong klaseng contract ang kinikreate ninyo. Is it an employment contract? Is it a contract for service? Is it a business contract? Or is it a treatment service contract between you and your patient? Now, generally, mga dokis, ang last tinatanong sa akin ng mga dokis kapag nagdidiskusyon when it comes to dental practice management is a contract between the dentist and an employee or an associate dentist to be exact. So, allow me to sample it here for the every part of the contract that I am going to discuss. If it is a title, you place it employment contract. Kung ang kontrata nyo ay yung dentista magiging associate or empleyado nyo. Or, kung independent contract naman, you place there independent business contract. Now, the second part is the preamble or the recital. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Normally, makikita nyo, immediately after the title of the contract, is yung word na I, and then pangalan, address, saan located, of legal age, etc., etc. Ang binibigay nito ay nagbibigay ito ng background ng mga parties involved or context ng kontrata. The third part ay related dito, and these are the parties. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Sino ang mga taong involved sa contract na ito? Ano ang ibig sabihin kung ikaw ang involved at another dentist ang another party, minsan o kadalasan naglalagay ng reference kung ano ang shortcut na itatawag sa iyo at sa kabilang party. For example, ikaw will be designated as an owner, and every time the word owner is mentioned in the contract, it means it pertains to you. The other party can be assigned with another name, which can be, for this case of example, associate dentist, or employee, or second party, and you can designate the word second party referring to the associate dentist who is going to be the other party in your contract. And any word or term that uses second party or associate dentist, it means it refers to the other party or the name of the associate dentist you are hiring. Now, the next part is definition. Now, mga dokis, napaka-importante ang definitions. Lalo na kapag may mga terms na dinidiscuss na kailangan i-define. Makikita niyo madalas yan sa mga batas natin. Kaya nga di ba mga dokis, there was a definition about what is a dentist when I discussed PRPOD Resolution number 13, and why it was so important to question why the board changed or enhanced or defined differently a dentist in this resolution number 13. Now mga dokis, tapos na yon. But it is just an example of why definitions are very important. para walang misunderstanding. Kumbaga, yung pinag-uusapan nyo, nakakonsentrate sa mga definitions na binigay ninyo. Makikita nyo rin yan madalas sa mga online stores or kapag may terms and agreement, kapag may kinukuha kayong service, either online or sa mga website. And these are very important because definition can confine whatever it is you are agreeing with. So, yan mga importante yan, mga dokis. Kailangan i-discuss niyo yan sa inyong abogado kung magpapagawa kayo ng kontrata. Lalo na kung ang pinag-uusapang kontrata ay between ikaw at pasyente. Now, ang susunod, mga dokis, ay scope of work and liability. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Ibig sabihin, kailangan niyong idikta kung ano ang ini-expect ninyong trabaho o terms na i-deliver sa inyo ng kakontract nyo. Or kung ikaw naman ang gagawa ng dapat gawin katulad sa pasyente nyo, kailangan nakalagay doon ang duties, responsibilities, deliverables nyo, at liability just in case na hindi magawa ng isang party i-deliver ang agreement ninyo. The next part, mga dokis, is consideration. What is consideration? This describes what each party is agreeing to exchange. Now, ang considerations at saka yung minensyo ko kanina na scope and work and liabilities sometimes can mesh together. So, hindi na kailangan separate sila, pero if you want to be more detailed, depende sa kontratang ginagawa mo, then considerations can be another part separate from the scope of work. The next is the terms and conditions. Again, the terms and conditions, consideration, and the scope of work, duties and liabilities can just be together in one body. However, mga dokis, minsan kasi may mga terms and conditions na kailangan ilagay separately. For example, halimbawa sa orthodontics, pagdating sa pasyente, pwede niyong ilagay doon na nasa terms, i-deliver nyo ang treatment ng pasyente ninyo sa ortho within 2 years. At kapag ka hindi siya bumalik sa inyo sa specified schedule nyo, wala na kayong liability. That's when the terms and conditions comes in. Hindi kailangan may separate setting siya, pero for the sake of clarification, halimbawa madetalye kayo, when it comes to contract, this can be a separate part of the contract that either you or your lawyer can place in your contract. The next, mga dok, is yung napaka-importante. What is that? The payment terms. Halimbawa, you are dealing with an associate dentist. Kailangan klaro, mga dokis. Ano ang payment terms ninyo? Kailan mo siya babayaran? Paano mo siya babayaran? Saan siya babayaran? Ano ang mga babayaran mo sa kanila? And this specifies compensation and benefits to the person you are in contract with. Halimbawa, you are the one who is giving the service, then the payment of the other person to your service must also be very clear. Let's just say, if the person you are in contract with is your patient. Now, the next essential part of a contract, mga dokis, ay duration. Ibig sabihin, gaano ba katagal the contract will remain valid. Now, this is important, especially kung contractual ang pinag-uusapan nyo when it comes to employment. O kaya naman, may limitation ang treatment nyo kung hanggang kailan pwede nyo trabahuin ang pasyente nyo or how long the patient can expect you to treat her within the terms of the treatment you are doing. And this is very important, mga dokis. Why? Because just like orthodontic treatment that takes some time before your treatment, o kaya naman implant, o kaya naman T&J dysfunction treatment, or mga other treatments na maaaring it will take some time and there is a duration up to when your contract will be valid. Or minsan, mga dokis, merong mga conditions na kailangan i-state ang duration. Now, the next is, which is similar to duration, is the termination clause. Ibig sabihin, ito ang nagsasabi kung kailan pwedeng i-terminate na or considered done na ang contract nyo. So this is again a little bit related to duration depending on the kind of contract you are creating. So, sa termination clause, halimbawa, ang agreement ninyo na ang kontrata nyo ay 2 taon lang, then there must be a clause that your contract only will run in the duration of 2 years. So, minsan, this can be separated as stated under duration, or it can be one and the same thing in the contract, depending on the style on how you are going to create it, or what kind of contract you are creating. Another is referring to the same time frame. So we have a duration, a termination clause, and this time, a pre-termination or cancellation clause. Ano to, mga dokis? Ito yung bago matapos ng contract nyo, you have conditions wherein you can pre-terminate the agreement. Halimbawa, let's just say, nahuli nyo ang associate dentist nyo na nagnanakaw o nag-encourage na ang current patient mo sa clinic mo ay dalhin niya sa clinic niya. Let's just say, for example, na may sarili rin siyang clinic at hindi siya araw-araw pumupunta sa clinic mo. This can be placed as a pre-termination clause. O kaya naman, may gawin siya na against sa agreement ninyo, and this can be considered as a cancellation. The same thing sa mga pasyente nyo. Let's just say your treatment is specified a certain duration of time. Now, if in case one of the party, like your patient, did not follow your agreement when it comes to going to your clinic, you can actually place a pre-termination clause or a cancellation clause based on this agreement that you can pre-terminate whatever you agreed on, and you can keep whatever the patient already paid to you. Kaya napaka-importante, mga dokis, na alam mo kung ano ang gusto mong agreement. The other one is survival. Again, this has something to do with time. Ibig sabihin, hanggang kailan ba mag-i-exist ang kontrata ninyo? Let's just say, for example, may kontrata kayo for 1 year. Now, after a year, you did not create a new contract. Kasi, ang nasa utak nyo, nagawa nyo na yung first contract, and you are just continuing it. So, you can actually place that on the survival clause, or mga dokis, let's just say, na mamaya, i-discuss ko rin na meron kayong non-competing clause na nilagay. And this can be placed under survival kung hanggang kailan ito i-recognize under non-compete clause. Now, dito na, ang susunod ay relativity. Ano ang ibig sabihin nito, mga dokis? Ang ibig sabihin nito na kung sakaling may mangyari sa kabil ninyo o sa kakontrata ninyo? Will this contract extend to their ears? Ibig sabihin, halimbawa sa empleyado nyo, kung meron pa silang naiiwan na sweldo sa inyo o benefit sa inyo at sila ay pumanaw o nagkasakit, do you allow that this amount goes to the heirs? Now, basically, may mga automatic na agreement na based on law para sa mga empleyado. But you can refine it and make it individual depending on the type of contract you are creating it with. Now next, ang napaka-importante, Dokis, ano yun? Exclusivity. Ito ay very important, mga Dokis, when you are hiring associate dentist. Depende sa inyo kung gusto nyo exclusive lang ang mga dentista o consultant ninyo sa clinic ninyo. Lalo na kapag ang clinic nyo ay medyo malaki or in a corporate level. Now, gusto nyo sila ay exclusive lang sa inyo. However, of course, mga Dokis, if you demand exclusivity, then make sure that you are willing to pay the price of being exclusive. Ang susunod, mga Dokis, is yung minention ko kanina, which is the non-compete clause. Anong ibig sabihin yan? Minsan kasi, mga Dokis, may mga kumpanya na nanghihingi ng ganyan. Halimbawa, ang clinic mo ay nasa Makati area or business district. Pwede mong ilagay doon na hindi pwede magtrabaho ang associate dentist mo o mag-create ng clinic for the next 2 years after they leave working for you. That is like, for example, 10 kilometers radius from your dental clinic. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya pwedeng magtrabaho ng malapit sa area mo para kakompetensyahin ang clinic mo. Maraming ganyan na mga kumpanya na nanghihingi ng non-complete clause na may certain survival time kung hanggang kailan pwede ito. Kasi minsan, mga Dokis, maraming Dokis na nagre-reklamo at sinasabi nila na maraming dentista nagtatrabaho lang sa'yo, originally walang alam, para lang matuto kung anong ginagawa mo sa clinic mo at pagkatapos aalis na. Now, if you are one of those dentists and medyo hindi mo type ng ganon, hindi mo maisip ang perspective na it's okay, kahit kasi ano naman ang turo mo, hindi naman siya ikaw. You will always have a different style, a different way of treating patients. And if you are very confident with your talent and ability as a dentist, this is not going to be an issue. However, if it is an issue with you, then that's okay. Then you can place a non-compete clause in your agreement with the people who works directly for you in your clinic. The next is the conflict clause. Ibig sabihin, ito yung mga terms na maaaring magkaroon ng conflict sa iyo. Let's just say na, for example, ay meron silang clinic na bukod pa sa nagtatrabaho sa iyo. This is important, especially kung full-time ang dentista sa inyo. Again, these are things that you can consider kung ano pa ang maaaring mag-conflict sa ginagawa ng dentista habang empleyado mo sila o nakakontrata sila sa iyo. Let's just say, for example, nagbebenta sila ng mga gamit sa loob ng clinic mo or just selling other stuff that may result to a conflict in your dental clinic. And this is something na you can consider to place in your contract with the other party. The other one is the confidentiality clause. Now, mga dokis, this is quite important. Why? Because majority of the people who works for you in your clinic have access on a lot of things. Yung mga dentista pa naman, lalo na yung medyo kasing edad ko, hindi masyadong mateki. So, ang ending, dinidepend nila lahat ang technology, ang kanilang password, ang kanilang mga dokumento sa mga taong nagtratrabaho sa kanila. And sometimes, if you part ways with these people in not so good terms, ang tendency, they might have access to information either about you, or your clinic, or your patient, or your other dentist that they may use in order to put you in a disadvantage. So that is why confidentiality clause is very, very important, especially about the medical and dental records of your patients and other things that your clinic requires certain level of confidentiality, even then when they leave or terminate their contract with you. The other is similar to confidentiality clause, and this can be again one and the same thing, the data privacy clause. This is very important, mga dokis, kasi nga, minsan, mamaya, may nagre-recording ng patient nyo, nagbablog kasi, and then ang tendency, it might hinder the privacy of a patient. So, napaka-importante niyan, lalong-lalo na sa mga records at private information ng mga patients nyo or ng sarili nyo. So, data privacy clause is very important. The same way that you are going to include this with your patient, especially if you need to expose certain information of your patient to certain services that you will need to maintain your website or your clinic or your records. Now, the next clause, mga dokis, is indemnification. Ano naman yon? This will provide claims and liability. Kumbaga, paano ba sila mag-claim? Ano ang liabilities mo kapag nangyari ang isang bagay? So, this is something that you have to think of in order to protect yourself from being just sued for the sake of money or for the sake of just being sued. Another is force majeure. Now, mga dokis, this is quite important kasi this protects us from uncontrollable events. Let's just say, mga dokis, na namatay ka, na-out, may nangyari sa'yo, nagkasakit ka, hindi mo natapos ang treatment ng isang pasyente. Like, for example, in an ortho case. And this will require now for your patient to be transferred to a dentist within your clinic or be transferred for another dentist. Now, minsan, may mga pasyente na maaaring mag-request ng refund dahil hindi mo natapos ang agreement ninyo. This force majeure, mga doki, will protect you if in case there are events that you cannot control, and this will protect you from any refund or return of payment, lalo na kung, for example, these payments are being also paid to another party, like the dental laboratories. So, let's just say, for example, nasunugan kayo, nagkagera, o kaya na lubog, o na-aksidente kayo, o hindi na kayo makatrabaho. These are conditions that are beyond your control, and it can happen anytime. Like, for example, mga dokis, bibigyan ko kayo ng example, yung nangyari sa amin sa facial aesthetics training namin. We have a contract with the Face Academy Design. And we have a force majeure wherein it is beyond our control when PRBOD Resolution number 13 came about that prohibits dentists from practicing facial aesthetics. Mga Doki, if you are interested what I have been mentioning about PRBOD, you can watch that video, but actually it's already moved in academic because it already has passed. Now, the next is, mga Dokis, is the counterparts and severability. Now, ito mga Dokis, napaka-importante nito. Why? Because especially kung nag-do-it-yourself kontra kayo. Now, kasi inisip nyo naman, simple lang naman yung gagawing contract, at saka ayaw nyo naman ng masyadong komplikado, katulad sa lahat ng parts na mini-mention ko. Now, this is a very important or essential part of the contract you will create. Why? Because if in case there is a part of your contract that is deemed to be illegal, by having counterparts and severability, it doesn't automatically make the entire contract illegal or cannot be used in the totality of the agreement. Kumbaga, kung ano lang yung part na illegal or kung ano lang yung part na hindi pwede sa batas, yun lang ang maaapektuhan sa kontrata na ginawa mo. Another is the mediation and arbitration. Now, ano yan mga Dokis? Just in case na hindi kayo talaga magkasundo at nagkaroon kayo ng problema, maglagay kayo niyan para kung mapapagkasunduan nyo naman at maaaring merong somebody who can mediate and be part of a body in order to settle your differences, then this is a very good way of settling differences without really filing a case with each other. Now, mga Dokis, this is very important, lalo na kung ang dental practice nyo is corporate. Napaka-importante niyan kapag korporasyon kayo. Now, the next is the scope of the limitations clause. This one can also be added on the terms and conditions o kaya naman sa scope of work and agreement na inagrihan nyo. Now, kung yon nag-provide ng scope of work, ito naman nag-provide ng limitation kung hanggang saan lang ang trabahong gagawin. Now, this is very important, lalo na kapag ang clinic nyo ay located sa mall o kaya sa mga location na nagre-require ng hindi pwedeng hindi magbukas ang clinic nyo kung bukas ang building kung nasaan ang clinic ninyo. And this will require, especially for associate dentists, to understand that even sometimes holidays or those that we generally consider to be a non-working day will be a working day for your associate dentist. The last, mga Dokis, is modification. Anong mga modification? Ibig sabihin, ilalagay nyo dyan kung ano ang maaaring idagdag pa. Like for example, kung may Annex A kayo, let's say, listahan ng mga specific work or specialized work na kailangang gawin ng kakontrata ninyo para sa inyo. Kumbaga, attachment. So, this can be defined here in the modification. And lastly, of course, mga Dokis, ay iyo ng signature at signature ng party ninyo. And I highly recommend, mga Dokis, na in every contract, it is always best that you have a witness or you have it notarized.
Ayan mga Dokis, we are able to discuss the different essential parts of a contract. Some of them you can take out or combine it depending on the kind of contract you are doing. Now, mga Dokis, do you find this very educational for you? Now, napaka-importante mga Dokis, as I've said, that you always consult a lawyer. If, for example, you decide to do it yourself and just follow the essential parts, I highly recommend that you should have a lawyer to at least read the contract that you make, o kaya naman, mga Dokis, you can use this as a guide to create your terms and agreement and then write it in bullet points so that when you pass it on to the lawyer can easily create a contract for you. And this you can just repeat over and over again, especially when it comes to contracts that are frequently the same. For example, for employment's contract, when it comes to associate dentist, o kaya naman when it comes to patients. Now, again, mga Dokis, I highly still recommend that you hire a lawyer for these things. But, kung nagtitipid kayo, please do watch my next video and I will discuss there what makes a contract deemed valid or probably illegal. So, we need to discuss what are the things that you need to be sure that your contract will be valid and recognized by the court of law just in case you encounter a problem with the person you are in contract with. So yan mga Dokis, don't forget to watch my next video, and on that video, I will attach there a sample of a contract so that you can download it and use it as a guide. Again mga Dokis, if you like and you have learned from this video, don't forget to give me support. Give me a thumbs up, like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and do comment below what topic you still want me to discuss in order that you will be able to grow your dental life in a smart way. This is Doc Jean. Always stay safe and be healthy. Bye!